Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract success, wealth, and fulfilling relationships, while others, equally talented, equally hard-working, struggle endlessly just to stay afloat? What if I told you that the difference has nothing to do with luck, privilege, or some secret strategy they're hiding from you? What if the real answer is far more profound, and yet surprisingly simple? Right now, at this very moment, you're living in one of two parallel realities. You might not realize it, but every single thought you're having, every belief you hold about yourself and the world is actively constructing the reality you experience. In one reality, let's call it reality A, you're constantly reacting to circumstances, trying to control outcomes that seem stubbornly out of reach, hustling harder and harder while wondering why it feels like you're running on a treadmill going nowhere. Has this ever happened to you? That exhausting feeling that no matter how much effort you pour into your goals, something invisible keeps pushing back against you. But there's another reality, reality B. And in this reality, circumstances don't control you. You shape them. Money flows more naturally. Opportunities appear at exactly the right time. Relationships deepen without struggle. This isn't fantasy or wishful thinking. This is the lived experience of people who've discovered something fundamental about how reality actually works at its deepest level. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Now let me share something that might sound impossible at first. Your thoughts aren't just abstract mental events happening inside your skull. They're creative forces that literally shape the material world around you. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover might completely transform how you see everything. Your past struggles, your current challenges, and most importantly, your future potential. Consider this remarkable story. In October 1986, a baseball player named Bill Buckner stood at first base during Game 6 of the World Series. Just 19 days earlier, he'd been interviewed about the pressure of playing in such a high-stakes game. And here's where it gets eerie. He described his nightmare scenario, letting the winning run score on a ground ball that goes through his legs. 19 days later, in front of millions of viewers, that exact nightmare became reality. The ball rolled through his legs. The game was lost. The series was lost. Coincidence? Bad luck? Or something far more significant about how our minds interact with reality itself? Jung understood something profound about this incident, something that goes beyond sports. Psychology into the very mechanics of how consciousness creates experience. This wasn't fate determining Buckner's actions. It was Buckner's thoughts, beliefs, and internal imagery literally constructing the future he experienced. And here's the unsettling truth. This same mechanism is operating in your life right now, whether you're aware of it or not. Every worry, every limiting belief, every unconscious fear you carry is actively broadcasting a signal into the quantum field of possibility, organizing circumstances to match those internal states. But what you're about to discover is how to reverse this process entirely. Now, I want to go even deeper into this mechanism because understanding how it works is the key to everything. Think about your earliest memories for a moment. Maybe you remember being 5 or 6 years old, watching how the adults around you reacted to money, to success, to relationships. You were absorbing everything like a sponge, forming beliefs about how the world works without even realizing it. Those beliefs, money is hard to earn, I'm not smart enough, people can't be trusted. They weren't conscious decisions you made. They were imprinted into your unconscious mind during a period when you had no filter, no critical thinking to question them. Here's where the hidden truth emerges. Those childhood beliefs are still running the show in your adult life. Right now, today, they're generating thoughts that perfectly align with those old programming patterns. And here's the fascinating part. Those thoughts aren't just mental chatter. They're creating electrical activity in your brain, actual measurable energy flowing through neural pathways, transmitting signals through your entire nervous system. This electrical conductivity transforms into what you experience as emotions and feelings. So when you think, I might not have enough money this month, you're not just having an abstract worry. You're literally experiencing the future. Biochemically, feeling the stress and anxiety as if it's happening right now, even though it hasn't occurred yet. If you're finding value in this content and want to keep going deeper into how reality actually works, hit that subscribe button. This is where we explore the frameworks that create real transformation, and I want to make sure you're part of this journey. These emotions then determine your actions, or more often, your inactions. When you're feeling stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, you either push harder from a place of desperation, which rarely produces good results, or you procrastinate, self-sabotage, freeze in indecision, and inevitably, those actions produce results that perfectly match the beliefs that started the whole cycle. You don't close the sale. You don't have enough money. You tell yourself, see, I knew it wouldn't work out. And the loop reinforces itself over and over again. This is what Jung called a psychocybernetic loop, and most people spend their entire lives trapped inside it without ever realizing the pattern exists. But there's something even more extraordinary happening beneath the surface of this internal mechanism. Every single day, you're having approximately 60,000 thoughts. 60,000. Each one of those thoughts is activating neurosynaptic connections in your brain, creating electrical phenomena, manufacturing emotions. You are, quite literally, a vibrational being, an electrical mechanical organism continuously broadcasting a frequency into the world around you. The quality of your vibration, your energetic signature, is determined entirely by the quality of your thoughts and emotions. You're not just thinking and feeling in isolation, you're transmitting, and the universe is receiving that transmission, responding to it, organizing itself around the frequency you're emitting. Write in the comments, I'm ready to shift my frequency if this is landing for you, because what comes next reveals exactly how to transform this entire process. Now here's where this journey takes a turn that might challenge everything you think you know about reality itself. Remember back in school when you learned that everything is made of atoms, tiny building blocks of matter, solid and physical? Well, science has discovered something that completely revolutionizes that understanding. When we zoom in far enough, when we look at the actual structure of atoms, we find something shocking. They're almost entirely empty. Space. Imagine if the nucleus of an atom were the size of a basketball sitting in the center of a football field. The electrons orbiting around it would be like tennis balls spinning in the parking lot. The space between them, completely empty, which means that everything you see is solid and physical. Your body, this device you're watching on, the walls around you, is actually 99.99999% empty space. But it gets even more mind-bending than that. At the quantum level, the deepest layer of reality we can observe, particles don't even behave consistently as physical matter. Sometimes they're particles, sometimes they're energetic waves. They exist in a state of pure potential until they're observed, at which point they collapse into one form or another. What this reveals is that we're not living in a solid, fixed physical universe at all. We're living in what could be described as an energetic soup, a shimmering field of infinite possibility, constantly fluctuating between wave and particle, energy and matter. And here's the revelation that changes everything. Your five senses aren't showing you objective reality. They're interpretation devices, sophisticated instruments designed to translate vibrational energy into the physical experience you call life. You're not seeing, touching, hearing, tasting, or smelling actual solid things. You're sensing energy, and your brain is converting those signals into a coherent experience. Reality, as Einstein himself said, is an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. So why does this matter for your life, your goals, your transformation? Because when you understand that reality is fundamentally energetic rather than physical, you begin to recognize that you're not separate from anything. You're connected to all of it. And that vibrational frequency you're broadcasting, remember those 60,000 thoughts creating electrical activity, it's being received by this energetic field. Life itself is organizing around your vibration in incredibly sophisticated ways, creating synchronicities, coincidences, and circumstances that mirror exactly what you're transmitting. You worry about money running out, and suddenly an unexpected bill arrives. You doubt whether you'll meet the right person, and your dating experiences keep confirming that doubt. This isn't punishment or bad luck. It's the external mechanism responding to your internal broadcast, creating experiences designed to invoke the same emotions and beliefs that generated them in the first place. Drop "I see the pattern now" in the comments if you're starting to recognize this dynamic in your own life, because understanding this mechanism is just the beginning of learning how to transform it completely. Now you might be thinking, okay, if my thoughts create my reality, then I'll just start thinking positive thoughts, right? I'll do affirmations, visualizations, vision boards, problem solved. And believe me, I've been there. Years ago, I actually recorded myself repeating affirmations. Money flows to me effortlessly. I am abundant. I am successful. I would play these recordings in my car, shouting them at the top of my lungs, convinced that if I just said them enough times with enough passion, my reality would shift. But nothing changed. Absolutely nothing. The bank account stayed the same. The opportunities didn't materialize. The struggle continued. Here's the truth behind why that approach fails for most people. Affirmations are conscious thoughts, but your unconscious mind is running a completely different program. Those limiting beliefs installed in childhood, they're operating 24 hours a day in the background, broadcasting a frequency that completely overpowers your 5 minutes of morning affirmations. It's like trying to change the direction of an ocean current by splashing water with your hand. The law of attraction isn't broken. It's working perfectly. It's just responding to your dominant vibration, which is being determined by unconscious beliefs you may not even know you have. True transformation doesn't come from layering positive statements over negative beliefs. It comes from identifying and dissolving the resistance itself. So how do you find these hidden beliefs? This is where understanding your emotional states becomes your most powerful tool. At any given moment, you're existing in one of two states, what we might call powerful states or primal states. Powerful states feel good: joy, curiosity, excitement, compassion, peace, inspiration. Primal states feel uncomfortable: anxiety, anger, jealousy, overwhelm, frustration, depression. You're always in one or the other, never both at the same time. Check in with yourself right now. Which state are you in? Here's the revelation that shifts everything. The experience itself doesn't determine which state you're in. Two people can face the exact same circumstance and have completely opposite reactions. One person loses their job and feels devastated. Another feels liberated and excited about new possibilities. The difference isn't the event, it's the meaning they assign to it, which is determined by their underlying beliefs. Your negative reactions, Those moments when you drop into primal states aren't obstacles or problems to avoid. They're diagnostic tools. They're showing you exactly where your limiting beliefs are hiding. That anxiety you feel about money, it's pointing to a belief. That frustration in your relationship, there's a belief underneath it. That overwhelm about your business, belief system at work. Type, "I'm ready to look deeper" in the comments if you're seeing how your reactions have been trying to show you something all along. Because what I'm about to share next is the exact formula that transforms this awareness into tangible results. Now let me share something that completely revolutionized my understanding of how manifestation actually works. For most of my life, I believed in equations that simply don't work. I thought it was desire plus hard work equals results, or desire plus having enough money and resources equals results, or desire plus finding the perfect strategy, the magic bullet, the right mentor equals results. And that's why I kept spinning my wheels, getting exhausted, wondering why people with less talent or intelligence seemed to effortlessly create what I was desperately struggling to achieve. But there's a different equation, one that actually reflects how reality operates. It's beautifully simple. Desire plus non-resistance equals desired result. That's it. Think about that for a moment. You already have desires, don't you? You've already been asking for more money, better health, deeper relationships, greater clarity about your purpose. You do that naturally, automatically, every single day. Your desires have already been transmitted into the quantum field. The order has been placed. The signal has been sent and received. So if you already have the desire part handled, what's the only variable left? Non-resistance. Here's the profound truth most people miss. The gap between where you are now and where you want to be isn't filled with missing strategies, insufficient hustle, or lack of resources. That gap is filled entirely with resistance. It's filled with limiting beliefs, unconscious fears, old programming telling you that what you want isn't possible, or that you're not worthy of it, or that it's going to be hard to achieve. If you had zero resistance to your desire, you'd either already have it, or you'd be absolutely certain it's coming and feeling excited about the journey. The fact that there's doubt, anxiety, frustration, or struggle tells you exactly one thing: resistance is present. Most people approach their goals like they're building a Mr. Potato Head, trying to add more pieces, more tactics, more effort, more knowledge, more connections. But transformation doesn't work that way. Think about how a sculptor creates a masterpiece. They don't take a bunch of clay and smash it together, adding a nose here, eyes there, lips over here. No. A sculptor starts with a raw block of clay and removes what doesn't belong. They chip away, carve out, smooth down, eliminating everything that isn't part of the vision until what remains is the masterpiece that was always there, hidden beneath the excess. You have a masterpiece inside you right now, the life you desire, the wealth, the relationships, the health, the purpose. It's already there. The only thing covering it up is unnecessary clay. That clay is your resistance, your limiting beliefs, your unconscious patterns. Your work isn't to add more to yourself. Your work is to remove what doesn't belong. Comment, remove the resistance if this framework is clicking for you, because understanding this distinction opens the door to a completely different approach to creating the life you actually want. So if you've made it this far, I have a feeling this message landed exactly when it needed to. There's something about the people who stick around until the end of content like this. They're the ones actually ready for transformation, not just curious about it. And if that's you, I want to make sure you don't miss what's coming next, because we're just getting started on this journey together. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I promise you, the content on this channel isn't about fluff or empty motivation. It's about real frameworks, practical understanding, and the kind of insights that actually shift your reality when you apply them. This is where we go deep, And if today's conversation resonated with you, there's so much more to explore. And hey, if this video gave you that moment of clarity, that aha where things suddenly made sense, do me a favor and hit the like button. It helps more people find their way here, people who are searching for exactly what you just discovered. Plus, it lets me know this content is hitting the mark, that it's serving you the way it's meant to. Before you go, leave a comment saying, "This message was meant for me," if you felt that pull. That recognition that you were supposed to see this today. I read every single one, and your words matter more than you might think. Now, there's a video right here that takes what we just covered and shows you exactly how to apply it in real time. It complements everything we talked about today perfectly. Click and continue with me over there because the transformation you're looking for, it's already beginning.